Over 94, Huck has actually closed off that economic gap by 2 harvesters. And it does look like MVP is going for a Ghost Academy as well. So we may be seeing some EMP action from this Bio Ball as MVP is pushing out across the middle now. I think he may be thinking about attacking the Protoss here, but I don't know. Huck is really scared, guys. He's just staying in the back of his natural and his main, and he's got all his Stalkers and all his Sentries and Colossus just clumped up here. I feel like he should be grabbing the gold right now. I don't think he should be playing scared, but I just don't know what is going on with Huck right now. He's getting another Colossus out, but he is playing very conservative right now, and MVP eventually is going to grab the gold with this command center, and he's going to have a really large economic lead. He's getting ghosts out of his tech lab barracks right now as well. So MVP is really in a situation where he's got all the units he needs to deal with the Protoss ball. He's got EMP Shockwave, he's got tons of dropships to heal his Marines and Marauders. The only thing I feel like MVP may be lacking is more Marines and Marauders. It looks like his army is a little bit small, but nevertheless, I think he's got enough with all of his support units to deal with anything that Huck throws at him. And here we go. Huck thinking about pushing out. His +1 weapons have not yet finished. I feel like Huck should, if he's going to push out and make an attack, he should probably wait for +1 weapons. At first, I was only condoning him pushing to grab the gold, but now he's actually pushing to take the command center of the Terran player. And without +1 weapons, this could be bad against MVP, who does have 1/1 on all of his bio. Strangely, MVP deciding not to EMP right there, actually falling back with most of his Marines and Marauders, and the attack actually turns up to be a success. Even picking off an SCV as a result and forcing the orbital command to go all the way back and become, well, not an orbital command, but forcing the command center to go all the way back and become an orbital. Wow, that's kind of strange for MVP, because now he cannot make this a planetary fortress, so his gold will not have nearly as much security as he would like it to be, and this could be bad. So MVP now pushing out with some of his Marines, and I think he's thinking about making an attack behind the secret hallway here, but 2 pylons already up, which is going to make those Marines, pretty much delay the Marines from running inside into the natural that much more. And Huck now falling back to grab his own gold. So Huck actually coming up a little bit in that exchange. He's now been able to grab a 3rd expansion, and he's going to be able to have the economy he needs for the late game, as well as MVP now finally coming back. Now it's an orbital though, so it's not going to be a planetary, which kind of sucks. And he has a lot of Vikings too, which will be able to deal with the Colossus quite easily. But what Huck has to be careful about is these Marines, man. If they decide to punch through these pylons with Stim, I think Huck could be in a lot of trouble. Well, he's got a lot of cannons, so maybe not. I think Huck should be, I guess he'll be pretty well prepared for any Marine harass. At the same time, though, here comes MVP actually pushing through the front. Keep an eye on those ghosts. Those EMP shockwaves are going to be absolutely crucial. Taking out all the energy from all the sentries, but not before the force fields get laid down, which should be able to keep the Nexus alive. But hello, Marines actually deciding not to go through the wall, taking another route to go right into the Nexus, and no cannons here at the front. They were all placed at the back to protect from the hallway attack, and these Marines are going to be able to decimate the probe line, killing off a good amount of probes there. And we bring up the workers kill tab. 15 workers killed for our Terran player now. MVP now actually pushing in and using his large number of Vikings to be able to pick off most of these Colossus, but it looks like MVP's ground army may not be enough to deal with the Stalkers and Zealots below, and oh man, MVP forced to fall back on the ground, even though he won in the skies. And it's tough to tell who's ahead right now. I think both players are pretty well evenly balanced. If anything, MVP may be a little bit behind. Even though he killed off a lot of those workers, he has no ground army to speak of, and it looks like Huck is pushing out with the most of his ground forces, which remained alive after saving the Nexus. And unfortunately, MVP not having a planetary here means that the command center may go down. Orbital is now burning in the air. It's at 41 health, 40 health. The Mules and SCVs immediately sent to repair that, so it looks like the command center or the orbital command will remain alive for now. And both these players keeping their Nexus and their orbital command alive respectively. Both of them on the verge of losing their 3rd expansion in simultaneous fashion, which, you know, losing that 3rd will pretty much cost the players the game. And these two players, Huck and MVP, showing that they are extremely well talented, keeping their bases alive and staying in the game as a result. But at this point, it's tough to tell who's ahead. I think that Huck is going to be happy that he was able to do the damage he did. Probably wishes he had been able to kill off the orbital command, as it was so close. I feel like if he had just committed his stalkers and just sacrificed some to kill off that orbital, it would have been worth it. But here we go, MVP once again coming in here. Guardian Shield has been erected, reducing the damage by those Marines by a lot, effectively giving them all +2 armor. Vikings here just chilling over the Grand Chasm, and unfortunately they are not really able to do much because Huck doesn't have any Colossus out right now. So those Vikings are pretty much wasted units at this point in the game. And MVP probably wishes he hadn't committed so much into Colossus, or into Vikings, because Huck just doesn't have any Colossus for him to snipe off. Also keep in mind, Huck is now going for a Dark Shrine. So we may be seeing some sneaky action coming out from Huck towards the late game. And unless MVP has those turrets in place, he could be in a lot of trouble. Thankfully, he does have the 3rd orbital, so that means he has a lot of scan ready in case the Dark Templar do go into the mineral line. And look at this, we have a double dropship here. Looks like these were the dropships originally with the army that have been whittled. They were whittled down in health, but they are going to go for a drop. Meanwhile, Huck picking off a couple of these Vikings. Nice play right there. It seemed like MVP forgot about his Vikings that were just chilling in the middle, but he did save the other half. And meanwhile, a Marine deflecting the probe from throwing down the Nexus, and here comes the dropship. Double drop going right into the Protoss main. Here's the key though, these dropships might not be able to do that much damage, but if they can scout the Dark Shrine, that would be absolutely huge. Able to pick off a robotics facility, but now that the Stalkers are back in the mix, I think that would be able to deflect it. Meanwhile, one Dark Templar actually making its way into the main. Dropships, one dropship getting out of the way, and the Dark Templar are able to do some slice and dice action inside MVP's main base, and this game is getting really heated up, guys. I feel though that MVP now has a large advantage. He does have 195 supply, 182 supply. Meanwhile, a massive engagement here. All the forces just duking it out right in front of the Nexus of Huck, but actually Huck getting the better of that exchange, using his Stalkers to blink underneath the dropships, and this could be bad. The main army of MVP getting decimated, and these Blink Stalkers can pick off these dropships if they decide to blink underneath the dropships, and wow, MVP is going to definitely come out as a loser in that battle, and Huck taking out a large portion of the Terran army, giving chase to these dropships, continually attacking them, and in the middle of the map, we actually have Huck pushing into this location here where 2 more orbitals are awaiting. Unfortunately, that is not a planetary, which might have been able to save MVP, but as it stands, I think Huck may have enough forces to push MVP back and maybe take out the gold expansion. Remember, there are no planetaries here, and the Protoss continues to push forward, and Huck is looking really good here. The dropships unloaded, really don't have anything that can't do much at all, and the SCV is now forced to pull off the mineral line, and Huck coming back with a comeback, and I think he is going to be able to take this game. Meanwhile, another drop though going off inside the main of Huck, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Nice little game right here by both these players, but as it stands now, 16 Harvesters under 53. Huck has a huge advantage. He has killed off 50 workers, and he is continuing his death march into the Terran's main. MVP just doesn't have anything to deal with this. No Thors, no nothing. Even the Dark Templar has been here the entire time and has gotten 6 kills. And finally, MVP calling a WW, which I guess means GG, and MVP losing to Huck. So nice play by Huck, really well played out. And as you guys all know, this was the anti-spoiler exhibition games, split into part 1 and part 2. Thanks guys for tuning in, and grand finals of the HD World Tournament are coming up next. HD signing out.